Please subscribe my channel. I learned about the party in the most ordinary yet embarrassing way. A friend we both know grinned and asked if I had a good time at the get-together at our house, talking like I had been there the whole time. For a moment, I thought he was kidding, but then he brought up the music, the decorations, and the guests who stayed until late. My heart felt heavy. My wife had thrown a big party, and I had no idea it happened. At first, I told myself it was just a mistake. Maybe it came up suddenly. Maybe she thought I would be working late or too tired. I didn't want to say but the uneasy feeling. Our house had been filled with laughter and I wasn't lying. That felt on purpose, even if I didn't. But what bothered me most was missing myself. It was noticing that I had been missing from my own life. The next day, I asked her lightly how her evening went. She paused for a second, just long enough to notice, like she was choosing her words carefully. She said it was calm, nothing exciting, just a regular night. I nodded and let it go, but something inside me changed. Over the following days, little clues kept slipping out that she hadn't hidden well. Pictures showed up on social media. Friends mentioned things I had never heard about. People talked to me with a gentle pity hidden behind nice words. Bit by bit, it became obvious that everyone knew about the party except me. That hurt worse than any fight. I wasn't just forgotten. I was left out on purpose. There's a big difference. Forgetting happens by accident. Leaving someone out is a choice. I began thinking back to older memories, wondering how many times I had been quietly left out while thinking everything was fine. The party wasn't the first clue. It was simply the first one I couldn't pretend not to see. When I finally asked her straight, I stayed calm. No yelling, just one simple question. Why didn't you tell me? She gave a nervous laugh and said it was planned at the last minute and no big deal. I asked why everyone else knew about it. Her face changed right away. She looked defensive and annoyed. She told me I wouldn't have liked it anyway and that the people there weren't my type. That answer hurt more than any angry words could. It wasn't about whether I would enjoy it. It was about feeling like I belonged. I asked a little more, wondering why I was the only one she didn't want there. She sighed and said she needed some space, that she didn't want to answer questions or have her good mood spoiled. That's when everything became clear. My not being there wasn't an accident. She needed me gone. If I had been there, I would have reminded her of promises she wanted to ignore, at least for that one evening. And once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. Later, a friend who cared enough to be straight with me told me what really went on. At the party, my wife acted like she was single. Not in a wild way, just relaxed and natural. She laughed easily, flirted a little, and shared stories that hardly mentioned me. When people asked about her life, she kept things vague and never brought up having a husband. Hearing this didn't make me furious. It helped me understand. I finally got why I was the only one she didn't want around. It wasn't that she didn't like me as a person. She didn't want the real life I reminded her of. I stood for responsibility, our shared past, and truths that didn't match the version of herself she wanted to show that night. When I got home and looked around our place, it felt strange. The rooms were the same, but everything meant something different now. I realized the party wasn't just a bad choice or a slip-up. It was practice for a life without me in it. When I told her what I knew, she didn't try to deny it. She said she felt stuck and just wanted one night to feel free again. I asked quietly why feeling free meant I had to be gone. She didn't have an answer. Instead, she said I was overthinking everything, acting controlling, and making it all about me. I didn't fight back. I simply said that leaving someone out is a kind of honesty. People show what matters to them by who they invite and who they keep away. The quiet that came after was thick and heavy. She knew I wasn't guessing anymore. I wasn't mixed up. I got it. The party itself wasn't the real betrayal. The betrayal was seeing that I had become something in the way of the life she wished she had. And once you see yourself that way, you can't forget it. I didn't pack up and leave right away. I didn't threaten to end the marriage or ask for big promises. I just watched. And the more I watched, the clearer things got. She became more distant and careful around me. I became quieter and pulled back. Strangely, the moment I stopped looking for comfort from her was when she noticed something was off. She asked why I was so quiet. I told her I was paying attention, listening to what she did instead of what she said. That one night told me more than years of talking ever had. I realized I didn't miss getting invited to a party. I miss feeling truly wanted in my own marriage. There's a deep kind of loneliness when you figure out you're only tolerated, not truly desired. Once that sinks in, acting like everything is fine gets tiring. I wasn't mad anymore. I was getting ready for a truth I could already feel coming. Finally, we had the talk she had been putting off, about being honest, about respect, and about why she needed times when I wasn't part of her world. She admitted she enjoyed the attention, the feeling of freedom, and not having to explain herself. I told her that freedom built on hiding things isn't real freedom. It's just running away, and running away always leads somewhere. She asked if we could go back to how things used to be. I said no. Once you know you're not necessary, you don't forget it. You either live with it or you leave. There's no in between. She cried, not over losing the party, but because she saw she had lost something deeper and quieter. Trust. And trust doesn't come back just because someone finally notices it's gone. My wife threw a party at our house without letting me know. At first, I thought it was an honest mistake. But I learned the truth. I was the only one she didn't want there, because I reminded her of duties and real life. That evening wasn't really about music, friends, or having fun. It was about pretending she didn't have a role she no longer wanted. I didn't yell or plead. I just understood. And understanding can be strong when it comes quietly. Because once you see the places you're not wanted, you stop trying to fit in. You stop bargaining for your value. You begin choosing yourself. And that decision changes everything.